Warning, spoilies ahead.
You look like a 19th century writer. I was like, okay, thanks. That's kind of a weirdly cool compliment.
I was
All
gonna
right.
say like that's a pretty like cool
Yeah.
compliment.
She's like, very handsome. You look like a 19th century writer. And I was like,
Damn
okay.
right.
And then I Googled 19th century writers when I went home, and I was like, I see it. It's the depressed, dead in the eyes, a beard, and then, some weird hair. And I was like, I do look like a 19th century writer. Hi, welcome to Two Guys, One Film. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
And this week for the viewer's choice, we watched Maximum Overdrive. This one was a pick by Eric. Maximum Overdrive was written and directed by Stephen King himself. Sir Stephen King, which we made that joke season 1, folks. With Children of the Corn, we call him Sir Stephen King. I'll just update you now on that, so you don't have to go back and watch season 1. You can watch season 1 if you want. That's the Lost Tapes.
You
but
should
if
go
you don't
back
want to,
and watch the Lost Tapes. It's good. Bartleby Jones is an amazing.
he's a great professor.
He really is.
Like
Truly is.
cutting edge in his field, and truly doing work and research that nobody is doing and they
Yeah.
should be doing.
Yeah.
You know.
It's mostly they don't want to. He's
Yeah.
really spearheading the entire operation.
Yeah, exactly. And we zero funding from us. He just took it on his own. So made a whole institute with it.
Yeah.
So
check
go
it out.
actually, yeah, go check out that season. You'll enjoy it. You'll get that joke. Come back to this episode, and now you're like, I get it. They call him Sir Stephen King, and it's so funny.
What's funny is when I was watching this and his name popped up, I was like, Sir Stephen King. I said it
Yeah.
out loud.
Yeah, it's just a compulsion at this point,
Yeah.
folks. We can't help it. So just
And we're just letting you in on that inside joke.
Yeah.
Don't you want to be like part of something?
welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Stephen King directed this, wrote it. A comet is coming close to Earth, and it's gonna be here for 7 days, and the green, or we're gonna be in the tailwind of it, so all the green goop, makes all the machines come to life and start killing people. And that's it. That's the premise
yeah,
of the thing.
that's-
And it's about people in a gas station, stuck at the gas station.
The what's it called? The Dixie something?
Yeah. Which there is a cool I'll get to it, but so the beginning it's showing the machines kind of starting to take over. That drawbridge or drawbridge scene, whatever you call them, toll bridge, whatever. That
Yeah.
was some fucking crazy ass stunts in that, dude. People
Right?
flying through windows and cars slamming. I was
Well, yeah,
Jesus
the one that
Christ.
the one that really got me was the one where the car slams and then the lady goes through the fucking windshield. I was
Yeah,
like, whoa,
and I was
shit.
like, "Oh, God." And there's the guy
Damn.
in there with her, and it looks like she hit the camera too. I was like, Stephen King was like, "Fuck it, let's hurt some people."
And of course he had to be in the movie.
He's in it, yeah.
I love
You are an asshole.
that right in the beginning, that sign above the bank it has weather and stuff. It just starts fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, I like that. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's cool. The
Yeah.
slow takeover is cool.
Yeah, this thing just called me an asshole, honey. That big old goofy fucking
Yeah.
Stephen King
He
face.
always does that. He always has he'll just be the weird person, try and be
what
not noticeable, but
that's
I
what
love
I
that.
appreciate about him is he knows he's a goofy dude and stuff like that. So was it Creepshow or Creepshow 2 when it was the meteorite that
plant
lands
one?
and he
That's the
starts
first
turning
one.
into plants? Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's just this dope goofy guy, and I was like, thanks, Stephen King. Play with your
But,
strengths. I love it.
That I remember that when I was a kid seeing that him turning into the plant, I was like, oh man, that's a bummer, because
Yeah,
even
that's
though
a
he's a
shit way to
dopey
go.
dude, I was just
Yeah,
oh man,
poor
he
guy.
seems so such a cool guy, just poor guy out here all by himself, and then he gets
Which I'm
plant.
realizing now, that's kind of based off of. I'm sorry, folks. This is that story's kind of based off an H.P. Lovecraft story, The Color Out of Space.
Oh yeah.
That meteorite that lands and like starts fucking up the town and stuff like that. Sorry, that was a revelation. But anyway, yeah, crazy fucking stunts in that scene and like
I love
it's
the
just
guy's
fucking
scream on the
bonkers.
motorcycle though.
Yeah. And just like the guy that's in the car up top and he's like, "I'll try to fucking floor it," and then just like, nope,
Is there
not
the one
get
in the
out.
truck where the wheels just like rip
Yeah.
off?
Yeah, and then like, oh, that's right, because they rip off and like hit another fucking car, don't they?
Yeah.
And then
And then that truck goes like whoosh.
yeah, dead.
I feel like they got a lot of like actual machinery to destroy in this.
Oh yeah, like
I was
those are
like, damn,
definitely
that looks like a real truck. I was like,
yeah, I think they just like
cool,
were
all
throwing
right.
trucks in there. There's crushing shit, blowing up trucks left and right. Like
I was like, what
the
was the
budget
budget? Is there
for
what's the budget on this?
the budget for special effects and cars was been through the roof. He did this all with his Pet Cemetery money, you know.
Oh man, well he made a lot of money on Pet Cemetery. Also,
Yeah.
that's a cool movie.
I don't know if he
so-
directed it. I mean, he just wrote a shitload of movies and books, but
Yeah.
and music written by AC Lightning Bolt DC.
Did you see their sweet van getting muffed?
Yeah.
And,
It was great
I was
because like
"Aw."
the van kept like that logo kept showing up on different vans too. It's like, yeah, we got an AC/DC. Like, oh,
Well, like, I don't know about having an entire movie with music composed by AC/DC.
and like, is it really composing? You know, like I don't mean to dog on it, but I mean I'm gonna dog on it.
I felt
it's-
like a lot of the time, I just felt like, God, dude, like, it all just sounded the same after a while. I'm like, man, AC/DC's songs, like, they all sound
just
like
sound the
very
same.
similar.
They're not like good. Sorry,
Yeah, like,
folks,
I was
once
just
again,
like, God
they're
damn.
not good.
Like, there was too much AC/DC in this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Even,
I mean,
even
I'm just
one
gonna,
song of AC/DC is too much AC/DC.
and it's like, I
Sorry,
feel like
folks, we're very
maybe
controversial.
most of the budget, like, went to AC/DC.
Trucks exploding, AC/DC. Everything else,
Which would make
low
sense
budget.
considering, like, the most of the movie takes place in a gas station.
Yeah, which is
Or,
always,
well, truck stop.
which is always a smart move. You know, if you're gonna make a movie, try to do one central location. You don't gotta film a whole bunch of different places.
But it's cool because, like, there's also the little kid.
Yeah,
Little kid actor, before we keep going.
not bad, not great. He was very just like, but he was like this. Other than Billy, which Billy wasn't that smart, the kid was like the smartest one in this whole group. So just for his intelligence alone, I'll give him a pass. He did pretty
All right.
good. Then we were introduced to the truck stop. Billy, Emilio Estevez, a line cook.
Who's apparently in some trouble with the law.
I think he's an ex-con. So like it
He was
seems like
because he talks about it, but it's such a weird story of like, oh, I stole some money, but like I got caught and I feel stupid about it.
yeah, and
That's
like the
really like,
reason
like,
he was
did you kill
stealing it,
somebody?
or
No.
like, and yeah, he's like robbing a grocery store or some shit like that.
Yeah,
But
and like the
yeah,
cops caught him, and he's like, "Oh, they got me," and then I just stood there, I froze, I didn't know what to do, and I feel stupid, and I was like,
well, because you got caught. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to sit and freeze, dude.
you know, like
But-
I don't really understand what the problem.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think because, you know, that's probably the only place he could find a job. And so that guy holds that power of his head of like, oh, I could make it so you don't have a job and you go back to jail. So you have to work more hours for less money because
Yeah.
I own you.
Pretty much, and you're gonna clock out when I say, and you're gonna
Yep.
work an extra hour for free. I'm like,
I
well,
do like when he
I
like
guess it's better than a
calls-
bunch of hours for free.
He calls for Billy and he's like starting to cook. He's like, Billy, I need you. He's like, I got eggs on.
Yeah, I got eggs on. Oh,
Got eggs on.
get back here and watch that. She
Yeah.
comes back. 'Cause the way she makes eggs,
just, like,
it's crumbling. I'm like, dude,
Crumbling,
just,
like, yeah, just like crush an egg and then just like throw it to the side and then just like scooping it around. I'm like, oh, man.
Jesus Christ.
I got eggs on. And then it's got an arcade that they don't ever really show again. So it's like, I don't even know if they filmed it in the same place, but there was like that random arcade scene, which I didn't realize till later it was Giancarlo Esposito as the guy in the arcade. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. It's fucking Gus Fring, dude. Hell yeah. And Yeah, it was just like a random scene of like him in there, and then like the machine's going off, and he's like, "Your mother" or whatever.
He just
And then,
says,
like
"Yo,
all the
mama,"
"Yo,
and I'm like,
mama," and
"What?
then
What
like all
was
the
the point of
cigarettes
that?"
start coming out, and then I was like, "Okay, what's the point in this?" And I didn't realize the arcade was in the truck
Yeah,
stop. I
it's
thought
like
it was
in the
just like
truck stop.
showing a different part of the world.
There's a
going
lot
on.
more like to that truck stop. There's like showers and shit. Like
Yeah,
it's like a full on like real life truck stop where you can
yeah.
like get cleaned up and like have food and
Have an arcade, you know.
yeah, and you're like, man, I'm bored. I'm gonna go play some video games.
Yeah, I got a
Whatever
long
those are,
drive
I
ahead
don't
of
know.
me.
They make
Yeah,
weird. They just make weird shapes
yeah.
and draw you in because you know that's
Oh.
like all. How do you get hypnotized by like a screen like that?
When the guy is like pumping the gas and it's like not working and he's just like looking at the nozzle too long, I was like, I know it's gonna
Yeah,
happen, but it's taking forever to do it. And he's just like,
let me
oh,
shake it around a little bit too.
oh, put my finger in there, and then diesel to the eyes.
Yeah,
What?
diesel.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's just diesel in the eyes. Just wash them out. Go back
yeah,
to
just go.
work.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, yeah, that's what they're gonna do at the hospital, but they might put some sort of solution in there to clean them
Yeah, it's
up a little.
burning your fucking eyes out. You're gonna lose them.
Not necessarily, but I mean, if you don't clean it out, yeah.
Yeah.
And like he's like,
The
oh, it's cool. I'll drive. I'm just gonna drive. Oh,
I got
God,
it.
I loved the death scenes in this. Oh my
Dude,
God.
okay, so like yeah, like the movie wastes zero time getting to the plot and the
Yeah.
premise of the movie, and I applaud it for that because it's like, all right, ridiculous premise, Comet makes all these machines come to life. Let's start it immediately. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. And just like fucking carnage and just like machines taking over instead of like little by little, you know. Like it kind of starts like that where like the little carver hits her, you know, in her leg and her
Yeah.
hand, but then it like just straight up goes to like a steamroller crushing kids and a fucking
It's
vending machine
that
kills
was
a guy
great.
with soda cans just like right to the
Right in
fucking
the head.
head.
I loved that kid getting crushed by the steamroller. That was great.
Yeah. It just like it's like it's just that those kids getting pelted by the fucking soda
Sodas.
machine, and I was like, how many cans are in there, dude? It was
I
just
know. I was like,
like,
damn, dude. I'm like, man, those old soda machines could hold a lot of cans.
And our hero Deke or whatever his name is puts on his catcher's mask,
Yeah,
goes
but
over
he
there,
puts it on like holding it, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
your hand is gonna get crushed.
bam, and then you drop it, and then you get hit again.
Bam, 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 and then you're dead.
That fucking dude just gets.
Do you think a soda can would kill you though?
I mean, as a full soda can, pretty heavy, pretty solid, and with the speed in which it was being flung, it could have.
That's true, because I mean,
Or
like
at
they were
least-
hitting those kids pretty solid, and they were far away.
Yeah.
So I
those
mean,
things were
putting
got
your
some good
face
momentum.
that close to it,
And just like, yeah, leaves a skull caved in, you know, like
Yeah.
death by soda.
I think the first thing for me, if I would have gotten slammed in the nuts with a soda, was to like roll away from it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
not
be
just be like,
standing like, oh,
Oh, which I do want to bring up. I'm glad this is a comedy because I feel this would have not worked any other way. Like if you were to take this premise and try to like pass it off as like a serious spooky horror story, it's like these deaths would have come off just as comical anyway. So it was very
yeah,
very wise to make this a comedy where I'm like, all right, this is good. To have a guy who's like,
was
oh,
that?
my nutsack, and then whoa,
Yeah.
like, death by a vending machine. Like M Night
The only
Shyamalan
thing that
would
would have
done
made
this
it
and would've
better
just been,
is if he actually would have said, "Oh, my nutsack."
oh my nose. Like, yeah, because like M Night Shyamalan did this, you know, idea with plants, and it fucking bombed because he was trying to make it serious. Like if he would have made that a comedy, it would have been probably funny.
What movie was this?
The Happening with Mark Wahlberg.
I didn't see
Remember,
it.
it was like the plants in the world were making people kill themselves because they were like so upset with like us destroying them or some shit like that. I don't know. I haven't seen the whole
What?
thing. It was fucking awful.
That doesn't.
Yeah, there's like one part
Shyamalan.
where, like,
sometimes
a
like he
guy,
hits
like,
the nail on the
throws
head,
himself.
and sometimes I'm just like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, he like this is a guy that throws himself in front of a riding lawnmower and shit like that. Like these people just like
That's
are
re-
hypnotized to kill themselves. I'm like,
It's too stupid to be like serious.
yeah,
It needs
and
to
Mark
be funny.
Wahlberg's face the whole time is just, what's going on? Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg. This is me acting. What's going on?
I'm like, yeah, but you wouldn't act like that if there was really a plant issue. I don't think.
Yeah. I don't know. See, that's why this one works because it's a comedy. Yeah, that steamroller on that kid was so
I
fucking
loved
good.
Loved it.
Crushing a ketchup
Because like I just
packet.
don't feel like they would show that nowadays, and it bums
They
me
wouldn't.
out. And it's
And
just like,
like,
dude, it's ridiculous. Just show it.
yeah, like you don't see, yeah, like many kids dying on screen.
No,
Stephen
and
King was like, fuck it, crush them.
the only like another kid. Well, it's not really like you don't see the kid die, but have you seen Drag Me to Hell? It's like it's a Sam Raimi
Oh, that's
movie.
the Raimi movie, yeah, where she gets like cursed by the witch or something.
Yeah, but like yeah, you get cursed and you get so many days, and then like literally demons come and pull you into hell.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, there's a kid who is getting like drugged to hell, and like I
Yeah.
love that scene, like because it's just like how scared that kid seems to be is fucking amazing. Like it's awesome. You don't like I sound like a psycho when I say this, but you don't
More
see shit
child
happening to
deaths.
kids, like
Yeah.
you
And
know.
it's a ballsy move. Like,
Yeah.
it's always that like, oh, the children will be safe. And it's like, nobody is safe when fucking machines come to life.
Because he doesn't know how to ride his bike, apparently.
Yeah.
He
At
just
first, I
don't.
thought the bike was turning on him. And I
I know, I was
there's
like-
no machinery in that because he just goes like, because
Like what I was wondering is like, what's the cutoff to machinery that's allowed to come
I
back?
think
Because
it's-
cars apparently don't, but little blades and things can come back to life, and lawnmowers, and
Well, I
like
think,
apparently
like-
phones because that lady's strangled by a cord.
What I think it is anything that's like not like like I don't know how to say this, but like stuff that can run on its own that uses like a fuel or like a electricity and has like moving parts, but like a hand cranked thing like machinery would not turn.
Yeah, but
So
I
I think
mean,
it's
like,
anything with like
well, the reason I'm like, okay, so the what's his name? That married couple, they drive their car.
yeah,
To the
but it
place.
doesn't take that over. Yeah, so it's like
But later on, I'm skipping like the end of the movie where we're going to the boat. That guy's stealing the ring off that lady who's crushed in
She's
the
like-
fucking yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, but then that car is just sitting there. So was it
Yeah.
just the window mechanism that came to life,
or
is
it
it
was
the
like
car,
the car killer and was like, okay, job done. And
or
then
is
just,
it
like, turned
only,
off.
or is it only diesel fueled trucks and shit that can do that?
Well,
And it's
because,
just like the electronic bits in the
lawnmower-
car. Well,
The
yeah,
lawnmower chases the kid.
yeah.
And the steamroller, but then there's that cart that's just like the cart with the steering wheel with the machine gun on it.
Oh, that's right.
And so, like, yeah, I don't know.
And like, how does the machine gun
specifics.
fire?
Yeah,
Because it's not like there's a button on that cart that they press. No, there's somebody that drives
Like
it,
a
and there's
trigger.
a guy that stands there
Yeah.
and mans the gun. So it's like,
so like it's when you think about it too hard, you're like, well, what's the rules on what can get taken over and what can't?
well, I mean, when I just had to keep going. Like, you know what it is to me is like this isn't like it's not like a green. It's not an intelligent whatever it is coming off of this
Yeah.
comet. So it just kind of I guess affects whatever
it-
it touches.
Yeah, but it almost is to the point where it can like organize itself, communicate with each other.
That's true though. Yeah.
So like it almost like is picking and choosing of like, all right, we're trying to kill all humans. It's like, oh, we don't need to take over this car. There's no need to, but this one will fuck some shit up. Yeah, it's so
But is it like an alien ghost entity that lives on this comet?
so.
Because I
let's
mean,
get-
and then there's like
let's
the end
get
of the
to
movie. There's
this
like the alien
UFO that got
craft.
shot.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay,
But,
well, what the
like-
hell does that have to do?
let's get to the science of like the theory of this, and
Okay.
we're skipping to the end. But like, first the girl, the drifter girl, comes up with like, oh, I think it's the comet, and then Billy goes, it's a broom, and I was like, what are you talking about? And then he proceeds to give the most logical, yes, this is the theory of like, oh, like when you're wanting to buy a new house, but you gotta like renovate it and all this stuff, you just get a broom and clean it. And the comet's a broom, and aliens want to use our planet, and they gotta clean it up because it's polluted. So they're using machines to kill us. I was like, that is a really good spot on theory, dude. I was like, oh shit.
Emilio.
Like he fucking like nailed it, and it turns out that's what it was because there was the UFO. So they're like using the aliens have this weird power of comet dust that is like, all right, well, we'll send this down. It's like bug bombing a planet because we're like a
Yeah,
termite
it's cool.
infestation.
Like when you because they're just like, all right, well, we'll send this comet really close. That way, we don't even have to go and get our hands dirty. We'll just go and like scoop up the aftermath, and
Yeah,
this will
exactly.
be our planet now. That's awesome.
It's like bug bombing it. And so when
Yeah.
he did that, when he first said it's like a broom, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he explained it. I was
In
like,
the most
oh, shit.
literal sense, they're coming
I
and
was
sweeping
like,
us off the planet.
Oh shit,
fucking
man, this
seriously?
guy fucking nailed it.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
It's
You
fucking
getting some work renovated on your bean-shaped pool in your backyard? Your
yeah,
mansion?
yeah. Sorry, I scheduled them. They're very they're held up a lot,
It's all right.
you know.
I
And
mean,
I
they got a lot of
gotta get
pools.
them in when I can get them in.
Yeah. It's gonna look great though. I'm gonna say that pool's gonna
It-
look great when it's done. The introduction of that couple, and
Oh wait, but before that, it was the traveling lady and the guy.
Oh, yeah,
who
so
keeps
the
trying
guy-
to grope her.
yeah, and the
What
guy
she's
who ends up
apparently
being
just
a
used to, like-
Bible
yeah.
salesman. Like, yeah, she's just like a drifter, or trying to get somewhere. So she's obviously used to grossly creepy men picking her up. But then, yeah, it turns out he's like a fucking Bible salesman. And like that part later on where he's like trying to tell those people about all this stuff, and he's like, "Son of a bitch!" afterwards, and like
Yeah,
completely
it's like
turns into a
it's like
different
all
person.
pissed off because
Yeah.
that truck hit his car.
So yeah, we're introduced to them. She demands out of the car, and they get, they're right by the truck stop.
Well, it's funny, like where the way he gets all pissed off. Well, I just gave you a ride and you're not gonna. It's like, oh man, it sucks because like that is back in like what this movie came out in
86 or something like
'86,
that?
and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, people still act like that shit.
Yep.
Like God,
Men don't change. That's
like
for sure.
it's a ride, man.
Yeah.
Also, you had your hands all over her.
Yeah, and she's like, "I'll fucking kill you if you do this again." Like,
Mm.
but then yeah, like the introduction of the newly married couple, and you got the girl that does Lisa's voice on the Bart Simpsons. She was the most annoying character
Oh my God.
of this movie, and I wanted her to die so badly because like she's also one of the loudest parts of this movie because the dialogue's really quiet, so I had to crank it up, and then like action and a truck would drive by. I'm like, oh, it's loud, but then it's
Yeah.
like, Curtis, are you dead? And I was like,
Ugh.
like just screaming all the time. Are you dead, Curtis? Man.
And then they're like escaping, and she's just like whining the whole
Screaming,
time.
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, like why isn't anybody like shut the hell up, dude?
Yeah.
I'm like, if her husband was like, I'm like, hey man, there's more of us than you. Do you want some of this?
Yeah.
Tell her to shut the hell up.
We could just leave her here and we won't
Yeah,
tell nobody.
like, or you guys can both stay here, and you can both,
Yeah.
you can just let her yell at you. How's that sound?
And he
or we
becomes
could
such
all
a
escape.
hero too. It's like, let's keep Curtis.
know.
Let's dump her, man. Like, fuck it.
I know he's
But I
like
do-
he's like straight up ready to be. He's like kind of crazy about it. Like
Yeah.
I'm ready to fucking just do some
I'll
shit.
do
You're
it.
like,
I want to get away from my very annoying wife. I'll do whatever. I do like that scene. So they show up at that gas station, and that dude that's like dead on the curb, like the way he like is positioned is so fucking crazy. His like head's against the curb and his body's all like straight out. I'm like, oh god,
Yeah.
that's like a brutal death. What the fuck?
like what happened to you? So did
Yeah.
that tow truck mash? I think the tow truck must have mashed into him.
Yeah, or like something like.
But then like hit on the other side. It's like the
Yeah.
idea. See, that's the fun part about this movie is like the idea that like a tow truck could kill somebody and then hide around a corner
Yeah.
wait for
Yeah.
somebody else.
I'm gonna get you.
And like, I don't know, like and there's parts of it that make it creepy. Like, you hear the tow truck starting up, and it's got
There's
a
a
weird,
weird
like
noise, like,
ignition. Yeah, and it like struggles, and then when it gets
Yeah.
going, you're just like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it's like it would be a terrifying situation to be in. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's also like comedic because you see the gear shift on its own and like a
Yeah.
gas pedal go down. You're like, oh, it's kind of funny.
That guy's
but
just
it's
standing
also,
there.
that's
But I mean,
fucking
like, I think
terrifying.
like get the fuck out of the way. But I'm like, if it was me, I might do the same thing. Like, this guy's not gonna run me over.
Yeah, like,
is there
who's in
somebody
there?
in
Like,
that
I don't see
fucking
anybody
truck?
yet.
I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
exactly.
shit, what the hell
Yeah.
is this? Because I
Yeah.
mean, like, I do that. I'll watch a movie and go like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? But I'm thinking, well, in
in that moment,
shock,
I'd be
in
like-
that moment, I'd be like,
Hey, well, how's that car doing that?
yeah.
Huh?
I get an accent and I sound stupid. What?
Hey, why come
why
that-
what they're doing that?
Why come that car drives so lonely? Ain't nobody in that seat. But then, okay, here's another. I think a question I have was like, the sprinklers are affected too.
Okay, so yeah.
Because the kids riding
Okay,
his
but
bike
then
down the
I
street.
thought like, okay, maybe it's not like the sprinklers, maybe it's the houses because
The
like,
system, because they use
yeah.
the like they're connected to
But
it.
then like, there's no electricity running through the water. Like
But there's
nobody.
like,
And also, what the
yeah,
hell would it? But that goes into like him going through the neighborhood and the weird shit that he sees. Like again, that
yeah,
phone cord around that woman's neck that's hanging
yeah,
out the window. I'm like,
yeah. Like the dead bodies in the background are so fucking good and well placed and like brutal fucking deaths too. You're like, good
I
God.
understand the guy with like the headphones. I'm like, all right, that makes sense.
That was cool, like bleeding out of his
Yeah,
ears, just like blasted his brains out. I was like, dude, fuck yeah.
love that shit.
It's just like it's such a cool, clever way to show like violence without actually having to shown it happen. Like the aftermath is like the best.
Yeah,
Like,
because I mean,
creepiest
like in
part.
your
You're
head, like
whoa.
instantly in your
You're
head, you're like,
imagining,
oh fuck,
yeah,
dude, he was listening to his head, ah, you know, because the sound was just so crazy, you know, so
yeah.
crazy loud, or like, you know, this guy
Woman's
was
trying
mowing
to
his
get out of her
lawn.
car, you know, and the fucking window hits her, you know, like
Yeah, because you're like, why
it's
would I use the door when there's a perfectly good window open?
yeah, because the door's not opening. I'll just crawl through the
Well, she was
window.
apparently
Like,
some rich woman. You know, she's a
better
big
steal
old
that
dummy,
ring.
so she had not used the door and climbed through the window.
But yeah,
Also, what the hell was that guy thinking he was going to do with a ring?
I'll pawn this off later. I don't know. I gotta have an excuse to get hit by this fucking truck.
And I like that
Just
too.
good throwaway
That was
character.
another comedic moment. The truck
Yeah.
snuck up on him.
How did you not hear a big diesel engine? Like it
See
just
like a
coasted.
giant green
And it
face
was just like
slowly.
I just
like-
imagine it like tiptoeing its way. Like
I
it's,
wish there were more
anthropomorphic.
like scenes of the trucks like doing stuff, like being sneaky. Like
Yeah,
that's the only
looking
thing
around
that I
a
would
corner,
like.
then backing up. Like,
Yeah, like
you know,
rolling out a little bit, you know.
yeah,
Or like maybe you see the guy taking the ring and then like from the window, like the car or
Yeah.
the truck like rolling up and you're
Yeah.
like, how does he not know? But
How
it's
do you not
funny,
know-
it's
how do you not hear
ridiculous.
that? It's fucking great. That's what. Yeah, once again, why it works as a comedy and why it lands. But that kid, once again, one of the smartest people in this fucking movie, which I love it. Ice cream truck's coming,
That was creepy.
which is a cool fucking like how they did that was cool. Like cameras on the kid, camera moves, ice cream truck. Any other movie, any other kid would have panned back and he would have been still standing there. Such a cool reveal for the camera to pan when the truck and he's gone. And I was like,
Yeah,
that
just his
kid's
bike's
fucking
laying
smart.
there.
And he's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I know what's going on exactly. I'm out. And like, it's
Well, it
fucking
only took
hiding.
him like a few like
Watching
little-
a friend
watching
get
a s-
crushed by a steamroller, you're like,
and
all right,
watching
I know
his
what's
coach
going
get
on.
killed by a soda machine.
It's like, all right, obviously I have to hide
And
from
like,
machines.
I'll give him this. He's pretty badass going to check on the guy, you know,
Dude, yeah.
and it's like right there as he dies. Like it's pretty
Yeah,
awful to see.
shit. This kid's seen some shit. But yeah, like any other movie, the kid would have just been like, "Oh, I'm like, what's
Yeah.
going on? Ice cream."
Oh boy.
Which they do bring that truck back later, which is cool. I was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
it's the ice cream truck from before." But and then we find out that kid's dad works at the truck stop.
Yeah, he's
He's
the
the guy with
dieselized
the
guy.
blinded, yeah, and he's like, "I can see just fine."
How many fingers am I holding up? I could see a little bit.
can
I'm
see a
going
little
anyway.
bit, yeah. And then just gets fucking mowed down. It's like,
It was a
oh,
great death too. Slam.
yeah. Oh, I dropped my keys. Oh, what? Just fucking bean burrito hitting on the front of
Yep.
that car. Is that when they start circling? I don't think they've started circling yet. I think it's just like them still like being attacked by him.
Yeah, they
But-
haven't started circling yet, and that the goblin truck hit some like. Didn't
Yeah.
it run into somebody? Because then it like goes over like toward a spot that stops.
It
and
just
then
stops, and then, like,
Emilio
it'll come
goes and he
back.
looks in and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And then as he's getting out and walking away, it like starts up again.
Yeah. And that like him and that girl fall in love pretty fast too. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
I'd say it's you know it's circumstance.
Yeah.
And they're the best, the two best looking people there. Of
It's
course
like,
they're
all
gonna
right,
pair
you'll
up.
do. We're gonna die. You'll do.
Let's pair up.
You okay? Yeah, guys. No, I'll just changed. I'm fine. No big deal.
I mean, it's Emilio though. I mean, young
How could
Emilio.
you
Did
not?
you
Like,
see it?
God
Like,
damn.
woo.
How could you? Just a
86 Emilio?
white
Damn.
t-shirt and blue jeans Emilio with a little bit of a southern
Shitty, like,
accent.
accent.
Fucking sign me up.
Whoo, doggy.
Yeah, there's that part where like the truck hits the Bible salesman's car. And he's like, "Get out of my way, you bitch!" And he just like throws
I
that
love
lady
that.
aside. Yeah, you fucking son of a bitch. And I was like, wow.
all
It's just so
pissed
great because he's like, like trying to teach them about the Bible and like, get out of my way, bitch. And then gets fucking slammed down.
That shit cracked me up when he did that.
Yeah.
Like, get out of my way, bitch.
Yeah. And then just gets fucking mowed. Like, he gets hit and then flies through the air because he gets the
knocked
truck
out of his
backs
shoes.
into him. Yeah, which is great.
Oh, yeah,
Into that ditch.
That's right. Because he runs outside because that other truck hits his car, and then the goblin truck, like, rolls back into him.
And just bam. Yeah, and Emilio's out there trying to save him, which I'd have been like, fucking leave him, dude. I don't know the notes I took.
This one was
I'll
hard to
never
take
learn.
notes on,
I'll
honestly.
never learn my lesson, and I make one sentence notes going like, oh, I'll remember that, and I never do because I have a note that says, I just loaded my pants.
Oh, that's when they're driving away. Is that might have been from the scene when they're on
that's
their
when
way to the thing and that big
and they're
red truck
being
comes
chased.
out? Yeah,
Yeah,
and then it finally
okay.
like goes off the edge, and that's when he says that. And I was like,
loaded.
"Ugh."
Okay. Thank you for. All right. So maybe sometimes the notes help out because I was
like-
like, I just loaded my pants, and I was like, when did that happen in the movie? But yeah, that's when the married
Gross.
couples,
Yeah,
like all those trucks are going down the highway. Then there's that one that just like turns around and chases.
I forgot
them,
about that. So, I guess through the rest of the movie, he's got
He's
shitted
dumped his
pants.
drawers. Yeah. Maybe he changes them at the truck stop.
We're gonna pretend like he didn't. I'm just gonna assume that he had shit pants
The whole time. Emilio.
through the entire.
That's why they were always,
Everybody
like,
looked pretty stinky though.
Yeah, that's why they were like okay with him being so eager to like go out and die. They're like, let's get the shit pants guy away from us. Like, I'll go. Yeah, you should go.
Yeah, his wife's like, no.
No, yeah, he's a hero. Get those shit pants out of here. I do like that truck that was like chasing them, like exploded before it even took off the ground for that jump.
Right.
It was like explosion, then went. And I was like,
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
like,
It's
nice.
Such an over the top.
It needed it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But yeah, now they're starting to get circled by the trucks, and then the boss has a rocket launcher out of nowhere. And just
Yeah.
fucking blows. And it turns out he's like a prepper or something, and has like all these fucking guns and shit.
Like a
down there, and,
shitload of
like,
guns.
You don't really know where they came from because like the coworkers like, I'm not allowed to say nothing.
I love how when they're down there later on, and Emilio and that other lady are looking through him. She's like, "Oh, do you think he bought all these?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, he's a crazy
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
psycho. Oh yeah, he bought all
Yeah, he
these.
bought them all.
Yeah. She does get to say the titular line of the movie.
She does.
She's like, all these
Everything
cars
went
are
into maximum overdrive.
Maximum overdrive.
I'm like, fuck yeah.
The poop scene. Sometimes poop humor is pretty funny, but that guy, taking a shit, and Emilio's questioning him on it, and the guy is just continuing to poop while answering these questions. It's just like sometimes fart humor is pretty funny.
It is.
Yeah, the guy's just trying to poop, and you're peeking over at him asking
Yeah,
him
like,
questions.
dude, stop.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, well, that's how he somehow gets the keys off him.
Yeah.
I told you, watch out for those keys.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you trusting shit to like the dopey guy? Like,
Yeah. It's like,
I don't know, like, it's
can
like
you
that
keep a
guy's-
secret? And like,
it's annoying to me when people like that are like the leaders or whatever surround themselves with like idiots
just
and
to
then
make
get
myself
mad
feel smarter.
and then
Yeah.
get mad when shit doesn't go right. I'm like, how you pick smarter fucking lackeys, dude?
But I like to have power over people of knowledge. It's like, yeah, I'm smarter than you.
Now give me a cigar and light it. Like, also,
Yeah, exactly.
if someone tried to do that to me, I'd be like, fuck you, light your own cigar, and also
Yeah.
I'm not gonna carry your shit around for you. Like,
But it seems like a lot of those dudes, because like Emilio had the star on his time card, and a lot of other people had the stars. And I think what it is a lot of those people are also convicted criminals.
And he's just like a fucking douchebag taking advantage of
like an
criminals
overlord
because he
he's
knows
like,
he can, and he'll just send
Yeah.
them back to prison, and they don't fucking want to be there, and they'd rather work, and they're like, fuck it,
Yeah.
I guess I'll just suck it up.
The only place I can work is at a gas station, truck stop.
Wherever, where is that
Yeah.
supposed to be? Did they ever talk about like a location?
I don't think so.
Because
They
it
might
looks like
have.
it looks like it's in the south or something. Cause
Yeah,
it
he
looks just
kind of
so
has
humid.
that southern accent, like, but like, yeah, like I don't know if they did, I missed it because I was just like, whoa,
Yeah, I was
trucks
like-
are slamming into people. Whoa.
Right. I like when people don't act stupid about the situation that they're in.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and it like maybe a few of them do it, but like there's other people that are like, don't be stupid. Like if this is what it is. Come on, how do you not
like
see it?
it's
Or at
it's
least
cool 'cause
have a
it's-
solid theory about what's going on.
and that's realistic because that's what people do. We're like constantly trying to figure out the situation we're in, like what the fuck is this from? And then now you're just throwing shit out and seeing what sticks to the wall. You're like, what if it's the comet? You're like, oh shit, it actually might be. Instead of just being like, I wonder what's going on. When will it end?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, fuck, I bet it's from that comet. If we last 7 more days, we'll be okay. Like, that's fucking,
Yeah.
that's humans right there, man.
But did they know about the 7-day thing, or did the shit just
I think-
stop? And then
I
they
think
were
she-
like, huh.
Well, I think she knew because, like, the whole thing was like, oh, the comet will be in the Earth, like, will be in the tail of the comet for 7 days, so many hours, blah, 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 so many seconds. So, like, I bet she knew about that because it's, like, a big deal. Like, we're going to be in the comet. And scientists, like, know the exact time. So she's like, hey, if we last 6 more days or whatever, in theory, this should end if it is indeed the comet. So she's throwing good hypotheses out there.
My question was also like, what's the world like after all that?
Yeah,
like is there now like a precautionary, like, hey, if there's a comet coming, you know,
kill switch everything.
yeah, but that wouldn't work because they work without keys. The
That's
only thing
true.
that they needed was fuel.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking,
how do you
like,
fix
okay, if this is like an intelligent design by aliens, are the aliens in complete control of it, or are the aliens the ones that are there controlling the stuff already?
I feel like they just
Or is it like a
used
robot
that-
almost that they just send off to do their
Yeah,
shit,
like, I
and then
feel
they
like-
come back?
Yeah, it's like the bug bomb analogy. You send the comet there. Comet does some sci-fi shit, brings stuff alive, kills people, and then you're like, all right, we're moving the comet, and we go in and clean it up, So, like, are they just gonna bring back another comet?
Yeah.
Gosh, shit. We didn't get all of them because, like pests
figured
that we
it out.
are, we survive. We try
Yeah.
to survive. We don't just die. So,
We're very resilient.
yeah,
Like, you kill one of us and like a whole bunch more spring up.
yeah. So we know how to survive.
Yeah. We've been
Sorry,
doing it for-
aliens, you're gonna have to try harder.
Like,
It's
I
one of
think
our
if
base
aliens,
instincts is survival.
yeah, that's why, like, yeah, like it's like we're scary at surviving almost.
Yeah.
Like, we'll lose a leg, we'll put a piece of wood there and just keep going. Like,
We're
Like,
some
the
pretty
little-
hardcore
like,
pests.
that's-
We're like cockroaches,
that's what pisses me off also about people. They're like, I just can't do it. I'm like, adapt. That's
That's what we're supposed to do. That's what evolution is. This is why we're here. Is we have adapted this long.
Oh, I just can't do this. I can't move faster. I can't do this. I'm like,
Well, then die, because it's
yeah,
natural selection.
okay,
right
then you
there.
go lay in the gutter.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep surviving. So fuck you. Because now you're helping me survive. I'm using
Yeah.
your dumb fucking ass.
Yeah, now I'm
and-
going to use your resources because you don't know
Yeah.
how to use them, or
I'm gonna
you're
use
too
you as a
lazy, or
shield.
you're too weak to use them. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I do like the waitress just like snaps and like, we made you. Don't you understand? We made you.
I
She
did
just
really
fucking
like that.
Loses it, and I love it. She keeps.
I'm like,
doing
there's
that,
always got to
too.
be like the crazy person that does something like that, and that was a really
Every
good
movie
line.
like that,
We made
yeah.
you. I'm like, that's cool. I like
Don't you
that.
understand? We made you. It's like, all right.
And she goes out and tries to blow. She
Oh,
doesn't
later
she
on
blow,
she
she
does
blows
that.
something up, but then she also
So,
gets
like,
shot.
Yeah, that's when later on the machine gun gets brought in, and then she comes out later. She grabs the rocket and she's like, "We made you," and then it shoots her, and then she launches the rocket and hits a different one. So
That scene where the machine gun comes and starts shooting. Why did people take so long to duck after so many people got shot?
I also love the way like like
I
the
know.
movie acting and
Awesome.
like getting lit
Awesome.
up, like, like it's
there
like
was one specifically,
squibs
and it was a
going
guy
on.
in a yellow shirt. That was the best one, and he did the
Yep.
and just like I was like, yes, that's so
And my
good.
favorite's the guy that gets hit in the head too, and he like does the slow fall to the ground too, and I was like,
And like the kind of crawl.
yeah,
But I just didn't understand, like, after a bunch of people were like, "Oh, get down," why there were like 4 or 5
Huh?
people still standing up.
we got to show some people, though. You got to crack a few eggs to get the point across of like, oh yeah, this is dangerous.
I know, but those people should have been shot. Well, in my opinion, this is how I would have played it out. Oh no, there's a gun. A
Duck.
bunch of people get shot. Let's get down now.
Yeah.
Makes more
Not
sense.
just
Not
like,
like,
why we
oh,
keep
you think
saying
they're
it?"
done?
Are they in poop water, or are they just in ditch water? Because they're just.
That's
like,
what I was wondering. And
It
I thought,
doesn't
man,
seem
if
like
that's
a
like
sewer.
if that's like poop water, that's a really bad like plumbing system. Just goes out into the open, just like
yeah, and it's just sitting there, like.
and the guy is like all lacerated, laying in shit water. Like
Yeah, it's
like,
we're gonna get like a staph infection from this,
Right,
or,
like-
and
it's like gross.
then we're just joking around of like, hey, I'm sending you something back your way, and it's like a rat, and it's like,
Hey, do you think people pee in this? How
Yeah.
much piss do you think is in here?
Oh man, let's find out. That's a lot of.
I like how
piss.
Emilio like falls in it. Oh, what's it taste like?
Yeah, fuck you, asshole.
I know. I'd be like, dude, you taste it.
Yeah, you won't find out. I'll fucking
I'm
put
so-
you in there.
I'm surprised you didn't pick that rat up and just whip it at him.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Oh,
Some
check
good
it
old
out.
natured ribbon and having fun. Just two boys having fun.
Two boys, they should have wrestled
old
around in the
natured
pee
ribbon.
water a little
Oh, I
bit, you
gotcha.
know? Oh, you come here, you little rascal.
Oh yeah, get you.
So they get,
Yeah.
they make it. That was a long scene.
It was really like
And
way too long.
it stressed me out a little bit, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest, because I was like, it's cramped, it's gross. You keep talking about how you're tasting and fiddling around in the pee water. It's
Yeah.
gross, dude. Come on.
And then the
I mean,
kid.
unless that was like the intention to make it uncomfortable, it worked.
Probably,
I
yeah,
felt
and yeah.
uncomfortable.
I felt like I was in there, like, get out,
Yeah.
get me out. But then the kid finds the guy, and the guy's just sitting there or laying there, and he gets all close to his chest, and of course the jump scare like grabs the kid.
That made me jump.
Yeah,
Because I was like, oh man, he died before they got over there. Okay. Because he's like, there with his fucking eyes open.
yeah. Pull me out! I can't. You're too heavy.
I'm like, what? He's a little kid, dude.
Yeah, pull me out.
But I guess maybe at that point, if you're like, close to death, you'd probably just be
It's
doing the
that
same.
survival.
Just pull me the
instinct,
fuck
Just
out.
help me, help me,
But at
help
that
me.
point, if I was that like alive, I'd be dragging myself out of there.
Yeah.
Again,
Just
survival.
kill me. So then they find the kid. And so that guy is dead. So hey, at least it wasn't all for nothing. They found the kids in the he's like, where's my dad? And he's like, and then that asshole guy's like, your dad's dead. He got fucking hit by a car or
Yeah,
whatever.
tough break,
And it's
kid. Sorry.
Thanks, yeah. Thanks, asshole. You could have fucking done
I like
that
how
better.
everybody
She,
is like a
clocks
dick to
him,
him
like,
about him. They're like, "Oh, dude, come on!" Like, I like how everybody does it. Like, it's like
Yeah.
it's like a synchronized sigh of like, "Oh,
fuck. And
Like,
yeah,
you're
she,
an asshole, man.
Fucking slaps him. Like,
Yeah.
all right, let's learn how to fucking be a
like
person.
have a bit
all
more
right?
tact than that." It's a kid,
Yeah.
for Christ's sake. Like,
Dad's dead. Whatever. Smoke a cigar. You
yeah,
know,
let me. Where's that asshole to light my cigar? What the hell is
Get my
this?
stogie out. Come on.
Yeah.
So then the horn starts like honking, and the kid, being like the only intelligent one, is like, it's Morse. And then I was like, well, how does he know? And then it instantly answered that question of like, oh, I got a badge from it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's how he knows.
Yeah. I'm a Boy Scout.
You fucking idiots. I'm smarter than all of you. I'm gonna find out what it's saying, and they want fuel. They want gas.
Or you're gonna die, which
Yeah.
doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So
Because then now you guys are gonna get
then you're
nothing.
really not gonna have fuel. But I mean, that was the end game in the first place. So,
Yeah.
but then if that's the case, then why bring all those trucks there?
I think because it's like maybe they know their job isn't done. They're like, all right, we haven't killed everybody yet. Let's fuel up so we can go around and keep going, you know.
So we
But
can
it's
go
like,
around and
hey,
run people over.
we have this truck stop held hostage. Come on down. We'll make them fill you guys up. Like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, party. Kegger at the fucking thing, man. You know, Kowalski's Kegger. We got Green Goblin's Kegger going on right down at this fucking truck stop.
My question to that was why wouldn't you why didn't they try and escape earlier? I would have.
I don't think
I
they
would've
could
been like,
because they were
"Screw
like
this, dude."
fucking circled, you know. Like I don't
Yeah,
know
but
why
I mean, they
waited
ended
so
up just
long.
they ended up just going the same route. They went to save that one guy.
Yeah.
So at that
it's
point,
like,
if
why
they
didn't we
already
use
knew all that stuff
before?
was there, they could have left way earlier and not
Well,
had
I
to
think it was
fuel.
hard because they had to like sneak through that open gap of them circling around, like Emilio and that guy. So it'd be kind of harder to get everybody across without them being seen.
That's true.
But which also, how do they see? Do they see through their headlights, or do they just have this omnipotent presence about them at all
That's
times?
what I was wondering too. Because like, well, like yeah, like the like little blade thing that cuts that woman's
How does
arm.
it see, or is it just like no?
It's like, oh, I can feel your warmth, and it just turns on, and
Yeah,
hopefully
but
it
like
buzzes
with all
you.
the
But then it comes at her and cuts her
yeah,
foot. So
so like how do the trucks see through their headlights? And is that how they move around and like can see things? So you could sneak up behind it, or do they just have this like sense of like this? You
but
can,
yeah, I think you can sneak up behind him because they use the mirrors to look behind them,
yeah.
so they
And then
can't
like
see out the back.
yeah, but then the machine gun knows where you are and it's following you around. So how does
Yeah,
it see? So like it's like by thinking too much of the science of this when it's
yeah.
just like machines are alive. Shut up and
Yeah,
fucking enjoy
the
it.
aliens made the machines come to life to clean off the planet and
So
take it
just
over.
shut up and don't think about how they can see you and all this stuff. Just fucking
Yeah,
sit back
they
and enjoy the
they
movie.
just can because
They
their
just can.
technology is better than ours.
It's the force. Shut up.
Yeah, the Force.
But I love that scene. So like, yeah, you know that the deal is if you fill us up, we won't kill you. So then they do, and I like that Emilio's like, well, I hope they brought their fucking MasterCard, and he's like, I'm gonna go do my job,
Yeah.
and it was like a drug deal scene.
Sorry.
I just love it. It was like a drug deal scene. He comes up to the guy, he's like, all right, asshole, I got the best stuff in the county, not even cut with anything. It's primo shit. You want it?
Pure stuff.
Pure shit you're gonna find in the South or whatever. Like that's such like a drug deal scene.
I
was
know.
just
I'm like,
fuck yeah,
he's
dude.
got that good diesel.
Yeah, get that good shit. All right, so line up your fucking guys and we'll get you. And then yeah, it's like a montage of just like them filling these fucking trucks up all day. I like
just
that kid's like,
filling-
"What's up, big guy?" Fucking flips it
Yeah.
on.
I'm like,
Working them to the bone.
like literally, they're all getting all fucking.
And I like that. Of like, they don't understand why a man's getting tired. It's like, why would they? It's like, it's true. And I do like that lady when he's like, I'll take over, and she's like, I hope they choke on it. And I was like, nice. Good Day of the Dead line. Choke on him. Choke on him.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
God, that was a good movie.
That was a great movie.
Like, talk about a cool like ending scene.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah, just some dude
Hell
getting
yeah.
ripped in half. Fuck yeah.
Choke on him. They run out of diesel, out of gas, and all the trucks start getting pissed because they can talk to each other. I don't know. And so that one truck is just like, I love how it's just pushing them and like,
Yeah.
it's just like, what? What the fuck do you want? And like, actually is Emilio getting pushed
shoving
by
him,
a
yeah.
truck. And I was like, oh God.
I know. I was like, oh, see, and then there was like that like comedic aspect of it, like a truck is like shoving him.
Like, over here, asshole. Like, come on. Fill this place up. I got juice in the back, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's when he drops that comet is a broom theory. And I was like, shit.
Oh yeah, because he's all like
Tired, yeah.
just-
And he's like, let me go inside, yeah. And then just like,
and they're like,
drops
all
that
right, dude,
fucking
you got it. We'll
knowledge.
just come back and grab you when we're ready. You go
Yeah.
and lay down because he's like been working forever.
He's a dedicated gasman. But the then he comes out. He's talking to that dude. And he's like, when I say run, run. He's like, hey man, we're just like talking over here to the machine gun. And he puts that
Yeah,
fucking
human
grenade in
stuff,
there
human-
and just spins the fucking
Yeah.
like machine gun. I love that. And just explodes. I was like, nice.
Like nice, get rid of
That's
that
a good
stupid
shot.
thing.
Seeing a hero with his ass in the air, and I was like, yeah.
Like both of them are sitting there like
Yeah, I
that.
was like, hmm? The explosion budget too, man. Like, so then, you know, they blow up the machine gun one, and then they escape that night because like, hey, there's a grate back there. We'll just like cut through.
I mean, they're there for how many days? Because like,
Probably about like I think 3, because at least maybe.
I'm trying to think of how many nights they go through.
They
Because
go
there's
through,
like
like,
the
2
first night.
nights.
I think like Emilio and
first
what's her
night-
name get together on like the first
On the
night.
first night, yeah, they like instantly like bang the first night.
Yeah.
Then there's the second night when they after they save the kid, because he wakes them up and it's like, hey, something's coming, and it's the fucking bulldozer and the
Oh, yeah, that's
machine
right.
gun, And then there's the third night when after they blow up the machine gun
that's
nest
the
and then they
escape.
sneak out. Yeah. And then the fucking trucks just lose it and just start crashing into that place.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, did they know that they escaped?
Probably, and they were just like pissed off. And there was
They were
that
just
one
like, oh,
that's
what
like
the fuck? They're not even in there anymore. Like,
Yeah,
because
like, fuck.
it's like, how did they get tipped off that they weren't in there?
I don't know. Like, yeah, did something.
Because
Because they were destroying it before they even like got out the other side. So maybe they like saw inside or something. Like, they're not in there anymore. Fucking trash it. Where are they?
Yeah.
Tear
And they
it
just
open.
start ripping apart the whole gas station, which is sick. I love that because, like,
Dude, and that fucking oxygen like container truck it's just like, hauling pure oxygen. I was like, did it know it was gonna die? Like, did it kamikaze that? And it was just like, fuck
kind of
it.
seems
And then
that
like
way.
biggest fucking explosion that like moves the camera. I was like, holy
I was
shit,
gonna
that
say,
must
I'm
have
like,
been
what
so
the-
fucking loud, dude.
Like, it's so cool too because it's an actual fucking huge explosion, and
Yeah.
I'm like, because like you see movies from back in like the '80s, and like yeah, there's an explosion, but it's a model, I
Yeah.
mean, and you can
But
tell.
this was
But
just
this
like
one, you're
we
just like,
blew the fuck out of
like
this
they were
place.
thrashing a gas station. Like,
Yeah.
it was so cool because like one of the trucks that hits, like, it had those really tall like
Oh, like-
awnings that you'd park
yeah.
underneath, and it's the semi one, so they're really really high. And then when that one hits it, like, boom, and like the lights are still on and shit. I'm
Just
like,
like
that's a fucking
dragging it
actual
and
gas
everything like
station.
that.
I'm like,
Yeah,
holy
actually
shit.
driving through the fucking front of it too. You're
Yeah.
just like, holy shit.
I'm like, this is fucking
destroy it.
awesome.
And then blow the fuck out of it.
Yeah. And like even after it's done, like stuff is still exploding. I was
Yeah,
like, holy
exactly.
shit.
It's like pure fucking oxygen explodes. And it was just
Yeah.
like, god damn, dude.
It was cool.
So then they're sneaking out. They got all their guns because asshole got. I love how that. I'm glad that guy died. The asshole boss.
The guy that was like fucking boss hog.
Yeah,
That's what he reminded me of.
Yeah, I'm glad he gets lit up. So yeah, they all steal his guns and leave. And they're by that like burger joint with the drive-through. Humans here. Humans here. Humans
Oh, I
here. was
love
like, oh,
that.
shit,
Was
that's
cool.
fucking cool. Yeah. Kid just fucking like lights it up, and he's like, I don't want this anymore. This is for my dad.
I wrote down what that kid said because I loved it. He says, "This is for my dad, you loudmouth son of a bitch," and then he, I don't need this
Lights it
anymore.
up. Yeah, I'm better now.
Sometimes you just gotta get it out.
Gotta get it out. I love that.
Poor
fucking
kid lost
lights
his
it.
dad.
Humans here. Humans here.
His dad was like looking for him too. So like,
Yeah, and it's so sad. It was like fucked up, And then that guy's just like, "Oh, your dad's dead. That's life."
like
dude."
it could have been like way easy. It would have been a lot nicer to be like, well, your dad died a hero. He was
Yeah,
fucking
tried to
looking
save
for
you.
you.
Yeah,
Maybe
Maybe he
he
probably gets sold that later. Maybe Billy and what's her name were like, "Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
your dad
and
was." And that was a cool scene when like the kid, is trying to run after that. Emilio's guy. He's like, "Just hold on to me, man. Just hold on to me." And I was
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah, dude. There was some good acting from Emilio in this.
Yeah,
Like, there
from
was some cool,
Emilio.
yeah,
Like-
like some really cool, like serious, like angry parts and some like serious.
I mean, of course, he had
dramatic
to have like a
parts.
monologue. I knew it was coming.
Yeah,
But I'm like, it works with him. Like, I can stomach it with a decent actor, like,
Yeah.
and especially
Yeah.
when it's like them younger and they're trying to like, kind of
Make
make
their
a name
way,
for themselves.
yeah.
And I'm like, this is cool. This is cool to see Emilio like younger and like not
Yeah.
like known very well, but still like killing it. Like, it's
Yeah.
cool. Like, I love
Like,
seeing
man.
like young actors doing that shit.
especially young actors who like made it. You're like,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
this fucking paid off. Fuck yeah, dude. And they blow up the ice cream truck. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Ice cream truck comes back and that fucking girl just like rocket launches it and it like does that fuck. Or no, they shoot it. Her and Curtis are out there and they just
Yeah.
like start shooting it with machine guns and it just blows up and flips. And I was like, oh fuck yeah, dude.
Like, back in the 80s, it must have been real easy to get your hands on a rocket launcher and like multiple like a lot of rockets.
And just like machine guns that just blow up fucking ice cream trucks. The I forgot to talk about the noise when our people are about to die. The dun dun.
Oh,
dun,
yeah.
dun, dun.
I love
like,
it.
That's so fucking cool. Like over the top. Cause yeah, when that guy picks the diamond ring, you're just standing there in the Green Goblin truck. I thought that thing was like gonna come back to life after he rocket launches it. So like Emilio shoots the rocket launcher, which I like how none of them hold it up here. They all hold it like to their side. They like shot like
Yeah, like they
shooting
shoot it from the hip. Yeah.
Boom! And I thought it was gonna like start back up and like drive at them on fire, but I was like, oh no, they killed it.
I know it's dead. They got
And
him.
they get on the boat, and they're like, hey, how do we cut this rope? forgot to point this out. She had a straight razor on her.
She uses
Why
it
do you
multiple
carry
times.
that? Yeah. Why do
She
you
uses
carry
it
that
to
on
save
you?
what's her name when the car crashes.
With the seatbelt.
Yeah, and she.
Don't say
Oh my
that.
God! Help me! Ugh,
Yeah.
just leave her there, dude.
You put me down there. I don't like this. Oh, my dress is getting all dirty, Curtis. I'm like, I just want her to
Just
die
leave
so
her there.
bad.
Leave her
I
there.
wanted her to die so bad. So fucking annoying. But then, yeah, he uses that straight razor again. You're going to stab me with a straight razor? Like, you don't stab people with straight razor. You slash them. I like
Yeah,
that.
like how the hell you stab somebody with a
What
straight
are you,
razor?
fucking dumb,
idiot?
Emilio? All right, let's bang again.
Doesn't he talk about like sailing though?
Yeah, so, like, that...
And that's what didn't. That's like, and when he cut that rope, I was like, wait a minute, don't you know how to sail? Untie this shit.
Yeah, he's like in a
Fuck it.
situation.
Yeah, I was just like,
cut it. It's a good idea, you know. It's like, hey, let's get in a boat. Let's get to marina. There's a fucking like, you know, small ass island where there's no machineries, no cars. We'll just hide out there.
we'll just go there.
It works. Plane works. And then I took a picture of it. I didn't want to fucking write it down, but the movie just ends on a title card that explains everything. And usually that kind of pisses me off, but like it worked and it made me laugh on this one. So I was like, all right.
It stays up for a while too.
Yeah.
I read through it and then I was like, all right.
Two days after a large UFO was destroyed in space by a Russian weather satellite, which I have quotes, I love that.
Yeah.
Which happened to be equipped with a laser cannon and Class 4 nuclear missiles. Approximately 6 days later, the Earth passed beyond the tail of the Rhea M, exactly as predicted. There were survivors. It's like the title card of like, yep, it was aliens. The Russians blew it up with a weather satellite, had laser cannons. 6 days later, it's all good. We're done. It's like, okay, that's how you end it.
Like,
turns out it was real the whole time.
Yeah, and like, how do you explain that now for the rest of the like humanity? And you remember that time when that comet came by and like totally made the machines come to life and like a bunch of people died? Remember that?
Yeah, they got
like,
to teach that in history class now. Of like back
Yeah.
in '86 for 7 days,
Yeah.
a comet came. Also, we now know that aliens exist in this universe.
Yeah.
Like, aliens made a comet come down to clean us up like fucking pests that we are, and just a bunch of people died from like trucks and planes and stuff like that. And
Oh yeah, we forgot about that. The plane.
yeah, because what's funny is like earlier, before they showed that, I was like, well, what about planes? Are they just like kamikazing, or like they just like, you know, obviously passenger planes, like, oh, we got humans in here, easy thing to do. But like if they're shooting missiles, do they like intercept it? I was like, what about planes?
See,
And
I'm
then, like,
surprised
when
there
they're-
wasn't a lot more of that, like missiles and shit go flying
Yeah.
around. Like, I'm
Yeah.
surprised like the nukes didn't just go flying. But then again,
Yeah.
aliens probably don't want to nuke a planet they're wanting to live on.
Yeah, I didn't want to ruin it. So yeah, like, and I was like, well, what about planes? And then when they're escaping, there's that plane just like in that
the
school
bu-
bus.
yeah,
I was like, oh shit, that's what planes do. Okay, question answered. Thank you.
Well, it was chasing that kid too.
Yeah.
Well, kinda. I think he
Yeah.
just heard it and like hid. Like a badass, he hid every time.
Every time. Yeah, that's right. Because, yeah, the plane does, like, fly over them. And it's blasting some fucking music. I don't remember what it was. Blasting some AC/DC, I'm sure.
It's Ride of the Valkyries.
Yeah. But then, yeah, it's just neatly tied up with the title card.
Yep. Questions?
done.
Questions?
Questions, anybody? Okay.
That's
End of the movie.
movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, the machines have come to life, and the only way to stay safe is to go to the internet and to a specific website. Where do they go?
You guys, you're going to want to kick it into maximum overdrive and head right on over to projectnerd.com. That's project-nerd.com. And you're going to find us there. You're going to find all kinds of cosplay and nerdy stuff and movie things and comedy and just it's a cornucopia of nerdy things, including us. We're like right at the top there.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So check it out, Project-Nerd, Maximum Overdrive. He said it better. I was just trying to bookend it with saying the name of the movie. So
We can say it together if you want.
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah. All right. My rating for this. This movie's cool. It doesn't take itself seriously like at all, and it's a comedy, and it's a horror, and Stephen King, I think, knocked it out of the park with this one. I mean, it has all those like the stuff that I bitch about in horror movies. It has the opposite of that, if that makes sense. Like, it's got all the stuff that I'm like, well, why didn't they think of that, or why didn't they do this? It's got all that stuff in it. Yeah, there's not a whole like ton of stuff going on because it takes place in just a gas station.
Yeah,
but the idea is cool, and if you don't look too much into it, it's just a fun experience of a movie. Like, if you're expecting it to be something like, oh, needs to be a serious movie about trucks and things coming to life, because of a green alien mist, well, then you're looking in the wrong.
Barking up the wrong tree.
I mean,
pal.
and you should already know that when you're going into a Stephen King movie anyway.
Yeah.
There's always a slight, like, feeling of, like, jest, if you will. Like, it never comes off completely serious.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will give this movie an 8.5 goblin trucks.
Ooh,
out of 10.
Nice. Yeah, basically the same. It's a really fun movie. The idea is fucking simple and hilarious and great, and it landed well as a comedy. Brutal deaths, lots of fucking explosions. I mean, come on, Sir Stephen King, let's get back at it. Make another fucking movie, dude. Good job by Emilio, such a young, baby-faced Emilio. And Giancarlo Esposito, brief moment. It's a fucking cool movie. It's a fun movie. I'm going to give it, same thing, 8.5 big honka green goblin semi-trucks. Big honks. That's what those trucks are called, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Eric, for the entry for the viewer's choice. Fucking
fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, great fucking film. Not a guilty pleasure.
Not at all.
Go watch this movie. Go have fun. Go watch Maximum
Seriously,
Overdrive.
it's a fun movie, and it's a cool movie to like talk about with people. Just saying, hey, have you seen Maximum Overdrive? And it's got a fucking cool name.
Yeah.
You know?
It's dope. Put the AC/DC aside, great movie, and if you love AC/DC for some fucking
oh
reason,
my
you're gonna
God,
really love this movie.
you're gonna be really, really digging this.
Not only does it have my favorite band, it's
got
also
Emilio
got trucks
Estevez.
and Emilio.
What more could you want?
It's a perfect fucking film. Go watch it.
I feel like we say that a lot.
Yeah, I'm loving this season because we're not doing movies that we hated before. We're not bitter this season. We're like back to classic two guys, one film, just enjoying a movie.
And it's
awesome. being diagnosed with a terminal illness has really changed my perception and on stuff on life.
Yeah, like our outlook is very, very different.
Yeah, I'm kind of just trying to take life differently, because, I mean, we only have like 65 years left. We might as well enjoy those years. Yeah. So we're going into movies different. We're not going to be super cynical buttholes. We're very thankful that we have enough viewers to have suggested a season. So that's a good start.
So thanks again, guys.
All right. Well, for two guys, one film, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
And we'll see you next week.
You sure will.